AI Health Community. This initiative, brought to you by the Alice Lee Center for Nursing Studies, ALKNS, at the Yon Lu Line School of Medicine, National University of Singapore, NUS, is part of the NUS AI Community of Practice, NUS AI CA. Our primary aim is to educate healthcare professionals on the application of artificial intelligence, AI, in healthcare. This project is funded by the NUS Center for Teaching, Learning and Technology, CTLT, Teaching Enhancement Grants, TEG, FY 2023/2024. Within our learning community, we offer foundational AI knowledge and skills tailored specifically for healthcare professionals. We also promote collaboration and share AI-integrated teaching plans for healthcare education among local and international participants. Allow me to introduce the dedicated members of the NUS AI Health Community who contribute their expertise and enthusiasm towards leveraging AI for the betterment of healthcare. We also extend our gratitude to NUS Center for Teaching, Learning and Technology, CTLT, for their invaluable contributions towards funding and publicity, which have been instrumental in making our community thrive. But that's not all. Brace yourselves for our monthly webinars featuring expert speakers delving into AI and its myriad applications in healthcare industry and education. Additionally, our platform serves as a hub for learning resources and event updates, ensuring you stay updated of all the latest developments. And if that's not enticing enough, our YouTube channel hosts a wealth of training courses focused on AI in the healthcare industry and education. Don't miss out on the opportunity to be part of this dynamic community. Subscribe to our channel at NUS Health Community and visit our website to stay tuned for exciting updates on our upcoming events.
Hi, good afternoon, educators, researchers, and interested participants. So thank you for joining us for a webinar organized by NUS AI Health Community, National University of Singapore. I am Peony Yobash. I'm a facilitator of the NUS AI Health Community, and I will be your moderator today. And I would like to introduce our speaker, Associate Professor Matthew Shore. He is the winner of the prestigious Global Excellence Award 2024. It's the SMRT Society USA. He is a distinguished leader in the field of AI and technology innovation in healthcare internationally. He's currently the Deputy Director of the Digital and Smart Health Office, Ng Teng Fong Center for Healthcare Innovation, National Healthcare Groups. This center is to drive impact-driven digital and AI transformation for the entire healthcare cluster. He is also an associate professor at biomedical informatics at NUS School of Medicine. He has won so many data science competitions at the national level. He also received a lot of prestigious grants amounting to more than 8 million Singapore dollar from Ministry of Health, SG Enable, and internationally. He's published more than 45 papers in peer-reviewed international journals, many of which are in Q1 tier journals, and they are really widely cited. So please join me in welcoming Associate Professor Matthew Shore.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Achan Yani, for the long introduction. Yeah, so I'm Matthew, and
You're
I'm very
welcome.
pleased to give you guys a short sharing today on some of the works in driving healthcare innovation in Singapore. Okay, give me a moment while I load the slides.
All right, please go ahead.
Okay, can you all see the slides?
Yes, I can see. You can see.
All right. Okay, so thanks, Achan. Okay, so yeah, so today my short sharing is on driving next generation health in Singapore with digital and AI technologies. There is a slight tweak in the title and some of the topics that what you see from the Miller, but in general the entire storyline should stay the same lah, right? So yeah, feel free to also stop me any point of time if you have any questions pertaining to the particular slide or to anything that is maybe not related is fine as well. Okay, so I think Achan has already introduced, so I won't delve too much on my CV, but I think the key thing is for myself, I'm very interested in healthcare informatics, AI and MIoT in all my particular areas of work. Okay. Okay, so like from my primary appointment, I'm from the Ng Teng Fong Center of Healthcare Innovation from the National Healthcare Group, and my key mandate in this space is actually to drive digital and AI innovation for the whole of the healthcare clusters. So that will pertain to the hospitals like Tan Tock Seng, and also Khoo Teck Puat Hospital, Woodlands Health, IMH, and also the various NHG polyclinics in Singapore, which so there's quite a lot of institution that is under this purview, under my purview, lah. All right. So I think all of you here, those of you who are familiar with Singapore healthcare system, okay, you know that healthcare in Singapore is super fragmented. Okay, it's very siloed and fragmented. Everyone is doing their own things, and this actually translates to quite a lot of resource wastage because sometimes there's a lot of duplication of work, and there's also not enough of sharing of efforts in a very consolidated manner. So that is the current issue and trouble that we are facing here within NHG cluster, and I believe that is the same also for the other cluster like Sing Health and NUHS as well. Okay, so then therefore we have to come in as a digital office to help to drive in a very consolidated and orchestrated manner this entire healthcare transformation space. Okay, so what we are trying to aim for is that we are trying to look at how do we integrate healthcare services end to end so that patients have a very seamless service and experience when they touch our various touch points. How do we tweak healthcare to be person-centric? That means it's tailored specific to the person's the likes and dislikes and also your various conditions. And how do we make it as a relationship-based kind of care that each person is not just a number, but each person is a unique individual within our system, and to do it in a very scalable manner because healthcare is quite expensive lah, right, in Singapore. How do we make it scalable and affordable yet bring the most value to our customers and patients? Okay, so we have actually stack up quite a lot of different technologies within our ecosystem. So from our data, which reside in the various fields like your NG, EMR, which is the next generation electronic medical records, and the various IT systems. Okay, we try to pool and consolidate all these data of the patient's digital footprint together in order to analyze and to allow our system to give a more holistic and tailored kind of insight of each of patient or customer that actually onboard into our system. So this is something that I would say that we are still in the works. We have not achieved to that level yet, but it is going to be a long journey, probably about 5-10 years in order to even get certain of these systems up and running, right? So we have already started on this journey. So we believe strongly and we actually invest a lot in what is known as a UX, okay, user experience, because we believe that for every patient, right, or our customers, okay, we can refer to our patient as our customer because they are people whom we serve and who pay for our services. Okay, for every customer, right, whether or not they come back to us and whether or not our services are successful, it depends on the experience that they get when they actually onboard to our various solutions and touch point. So we invest heavily on what is known as UX, okay, user experience, and in this specific field is known as digital UX, okay, digital user experience. So maybe I'll touch on more about it later. Yeah. Okay, so for CHI, we have this thing called a digital transformation strategy, which was built upon our innate primal CHI innovation cycle. So you can see this is the cycle that we have established, which is like a tri-cycle, right? So it starts off with how do we assess and redesign our care and processes. Okay, so as you know, our processes we need to constantly look at our processes and reevaluate and to redesign them in order to get resource optimization and also better what you call it, quality of outcomes, right? So how do we redesign our care processes, which then leads down to less wastage of resources. Okay, and then next, how do we tap on automation, IT, and robotic innovation. So basically, technological innovation, okay. And this, when we utilize this, okay, to bring down our costs, okay. And when we bring in technological innovations to supplement our current work and work streams, okay, this will lead to job redesign. So how do we then look at our existing jobs and our scope, and how do we then change and redesign the job so to better fit and complement the technology that we bring in. Okay, this will then increase the value of the job and of the business processes, and therefore this continues the perpetual tricycle, right? Okay. So upon this primal innovation cycle, we layer upon our digital transformation strategy. Okay, so in our digital transformation strategy, we look at how do we three areas. Okay, digital experience, which are what I've shared earlier on, is the UX portion, user experience portion. Okay, how do we look at digital experiences? How do we forecast what is the next bound of digital experience and chart towards it? Okay, so this can bring upon transformative change. And then we look at the enabling portion, which is the digital data. Okay, so how do we then firstly capture the right kind of data? How do we port in the data? How do we concatenate, clean, and then analyze and make sense of data? Okay, in order to drive certain business outcomes. Okay, and then once we have the underlying data and the tech infrastructure, okay, then we need to focus on people. Okay, how do we then cultivate and groom our staff, our 25,000 healthcare worker staff, to be culturally, digitally savvy, and to be able to utilize technology for their work and be empowered with them. Okay, so this is a culture portion, which is actually one of the most important and most challenging portion as a director of digital innovation in this cluster, right? How do we get people to onboard, excite them, and to empower them? Okay, so this is an ongoing battle. Yeah. Okay, so in this respect, okay, we actually have this flagship program called Hospital Without Walls. Okay, and this Hospital Without Walls actually it looks at driving care for the future lah. Okay, whereby we envision that care for the future should be not within hospital, but it should permeate throughout homes, to wherever the customers and patients are. Okay, whether you're in a home or on the move or traveling, okay, we should be able to access healthcare on the go as well. Okay, so care is not just confined to the four walls in hospitals. So from this we actually layer upon three sub layers, okay, whereby we look at how we can tap upon our national IT enablers, the top layer, okay. So this will be your NG, EMR, your NHIPs, and so on, okay, followed by our SIPs, okay, strategic innovation programs. These are very, very unique to NHG. Okay, so if you look at it, right, there are quite a number of them. Okay, so you have your knowledge without walls, pharmacy without walls, digital workplace, acuity without walls. So all these are all various what is known as thematic areas or healthcare areas that we want to focus on. Okay, clinic without walls, ward without walls, like that. Okay, these are all the various healthcare touch points that we make them as our thematic area to drive the strategic innovation programs. Okay, so this is the second layer, and then of course this will be enabled and supported by our digital innovation technologies, or known as DITs. Okay, so this can be your various technologies like your extended reality or cross reality, AI, telehealth, robotics, etc., etc. All right. So this is basically our flagship framework of hospital without walls that NHG has embedded within our flagship hospitals and care services. Yeah. I know it's a quite a mouthful, but just know that, okay, we have three layers lah. Yeah, that supports each other. Okay, so now I'll share with you some of our NHG strategic innovation programs project. Okay, so if you look at Channel News Asia, okay, they have actually introduced what is our flagship hospital, Tan Tock Seng Hospital. We have actually a ward called a smart ward. Okay, so in this smart ward, it is basically where we trial and test and evaluate new technology on live patients, right? Before we actually scale up into all the few hundred wards in the hospital and across the cluster. Okay, so in our smart ward, we actually have more than 20 innovations that we have tested, okay, and 14 initiatives that have been scaled up to other wards within 1 or 2 years. So considering the pace of healthcare, right, I feel that this is quite impressive in a way, right? Whereby we can use this smart ward as a springboard to push new tech and innovation quickly into other wards as well. Okay, so I'll share more about it. Okay, so in our ward without walls, okay, and smart ward, okay, we actually trial this thing called the voice activated communication. Okay, so this is a cross reality headset. So you can see on the clinician on the right, okay, wearing a headset, right, with a camera and a cross reality VR augmented reality projection. So this is actually to supplement the healthcare worker. So what this does is that, okay, it's able to capture the vital signs and signals of the patient and also record the patient's voice and the needs and requirement, etc. Okay, it also allows for a certain amount of triaging to be done on the headset. So we actually estimate that this increases the productivity of one nurse into 4 nurses or one doctor into 4 doctors, right? So basically, in Singapore healthcare context, this is very important because we are already facing a healthcare crunch, manpower crunch. There's not enough healthcare workers. So if you can augment and multiply a person's output by 4 times, okay, this is really a game changer in the hospital setting. So now with instead of having 2 or 3 nurses attending to one patient, you can have one nurse, okay, attending to one patient and while performing the load of 3 or 4 patients, 3 or 4 workers, okay, by transcribing, logging down stuff, triaging, capturing voice, and then administering and ordering drugs all at the same time. Okay, using augmented reality digital headset. Yeah. Okay. So this is one. Okay, of course, this is just a platform, and we are constantly reviewing and adding on more features to it. Okay, maybe adding better triaging kind of technologies or algorithms. So like using RPPG, you can actually measure the heart rate, temperature of the person without actually using a stethoscope or thermometer to go and measure. So you can do it remotely using the headset as well. Okay. Next, okay, is this Just Workout Store or JWO. Okay, so this so logistics is a very big operation constraint and importance in hospitals because of the large number of customers that the hospital serve. Okay, we need to always be on top of logistical demands and issues, right? So in our Just Workout Store or JWO, there's real-time resource tracking and whenever people come in and take stuff and come out, okay, there's a tracking being done that to check, okay, how many of these jobs left in inventory, or do we need to order more, and this ordering is done automatically as well whenever the resource level drop to a certain level, right? Predetermined level. So this actually save a lot of time and manpower, okay, for people to go in and count the inventory and to go and log in the system to get order and so on. It saves a lot of time and manpower, right? Okay, and then we have this device that we are currently trialing in the various wards. Actually, it's not being trialed; it's being rolled out in quite a number of wards. Is the Presage falls detection. Okay, so maybe you can see that, okay, this falls is a very huge concern in the wards because when patients fall down, right, sometimes the fractures can cause them to be to delay their discharge or to maybe even be fatal to some patients, right? So we have this Presage fall detection monitoring system that is in some of our wards that has resulted in about 30% reduction in fall rate. Okay, and most of the falls actually happen from lying down or to standing up because of the differential of blood pressure. The person get dizzy or they lose their balance and so on. Okay, so basically this is something that helps to arrest or reduce the risk of falls. Okay, so maybe I would like to just pose a question to you guys. Okay, you see on the image on the right here. Okay, is black and white. Okay, so my question to you guys is why don't we use a normal camera to just capture people coming out, standing up or walking around in the ward? Why don't we use a normal camera like usual RGB camera like your phone kind of camera? Why do we have to resort to this kind of imaging called infrared imaging? Yeah. Anyone want to give it a try? Okay, so I see that Timothy has written there privacy. Okay, yeah, correct, Tim. Yeah, you're right. Okay, privacy is a huge issue in the healthcare space. Okay, so to preserve patients' identity and privacy, okay, we have to resort to thermal imaging or using infrared okay, cameras instead. Okay, so for infrared cameras, you can see that you cannot make out your features. Okay, so if you're naked or what, okay, you don't know, you can't see you can only see a silhouette of you, okay, which is enough for the algorithm to predict the risk of falls. Yet, for human eyes not to be able to to discern and to make out the person's features lah. Right. Okay. So yeah, thanks Tim for responding. Yeah. Okay. So on. Okay. Now I'll move on to our digital innovation technology projects that we have also in NHG. Okay, so after this, I'll also move on to share some of my research project in NUS, which are pertaining to healthcare as well. Okay, so this is more for the NHG hospital side. Okay, so for our energy innovation center, okay, we have a 3D printing center, okay, as you can see here, that allows you to scan a patient's face, okay, or any kind of appendage, and then 3D print within an hour or so, depending on the size of the object. And this has allowed us to design patient-specific implants, as you can see here, okay, for maybe nose replacement after a nasal carcinoma surgery, resection, and so on, right? So we also are able to print out objects to allow our students to practice surgery on before they do the actual thing. So this is something that we pride ourselves in for the use of 3D printing. Okay, medical grade 3D printing. Okay. Okay, so how do we then drive digital innovation and transformation in our healthcare cluster? So, okay, so one of our key strategic trusts is actually in RPA, robotic process automation. Okay, so I know many of you who have been reading about AI and so on. Okay, RPA is not as sexy a term as AI. Okay, but I would say that RPA is a tool that has already proven itself, okay, through the years, okay, to be able to yield a huge amount of man hours saved and cost savings lah, okay. So one of the tools we use for RPA is actually UiPath, okay, to do some of our work process automation and so on, okay. And this has resulted in a lot of efficiency gains and reduction in errors, okay, when people type in stuff, and also improve productivity lah. Okay, so we have actually won quite a lot of awards at the national level. Okay, for example, the OpenGov Asia Award for Excellence. Okay, using RPA tools. So the moral of the story is that sometimes we don't need to use the new kind or the most novel kind of AI tools for our work. Sometimes the second generation or first generation kind of tools like RPA actually works even better than the more the more recent kind of AI technology right? So if you're looking at business outcomes, yeah, we need to be agnostic to the kind of technology tools that are out there. Okay, so digital enablement, okay, we work closely with GovTech, okay, to bring in some of the governmental AI products, and also with Facebook or Meta, right? Okay, and recently we have launched this a unit, okay, called Heal, Health Empowered by AI Launchpad, which actually sits under my department as well, under my purview. So in this Heal department, okay, we look at adoption and scaling of AI products and software. All right. So I would say that from a healthcare provider point of view, right, there are a lot of AI tools out there, right? And a lot of AI tools that we have also. But I say that the most disappointing thing is that, although there's so many AI tools, right, but the rate of adoption and scaling, right, is quite pathetic in the healthcare sector. Okay, it's very bad. So that's why we launched this Heal platform, or the Heal team, okay, to focus on adoption and scaling, and then getting people to use, to train them, and so on. Okay, so we have three tracks, okay, clinical track, analytics tracks, and the operation track, which pertains to the various kind of work streams that NSG is interested to drive for AI now, right? Yeah. Okay, so I would say that, okay, doing healthcare innovation, right, is a very messy and very tedious thing. The amount of effort you need to put in, like, just to make a small improvement, right, okay, is quite ridiculous lah, right? So usually in my team, okay, as the team department head, okay, I try to watch out for signs of burnout in my staff. Okay, so very important to keep the staff morale high, and make sure that, check their pulse, that they are actually doing well in terms of what's that, strength, and the stamina lah, when doing innovation work, because it's quite draining. Okay, so we have come up with playbooks, okay, and chatbots to help to proliferate digital and AI transformation in our healthcare. Okay, and we have also roll out different kind of framework to help to lower the barrier of entry and the barrier of proliferation of new healthcare AI tools and software solutions lah. Yeah. Okay, and coordinate also by working with our government counterparts like IMDA, MITA, GovTech, and so on, to see how we can better leverage on their strengths, okay, to push for digital transformation. Okay, so I'll come to the end of the first part of the talk. I'll move on to the next part, which I'll be sharing more on my NUS Research Projects. Yeah. Yeah, feel free to stop me at any point of time if you have questions. Okay, I'll just keep rattling on only. Yeah. Okay, so the first project I would like to share is this mHealth 5 motor skills rehab for stroke survivors. Okay, so this is a funded grant by SG Enable for more than $500,000 over 3 years. Okay, so I'm the PI for the grant. Okay, the study has already finished, so I'm just sharing with you what we have done now, right? Okay, so the first 6 months post-stroke is the most critical time for stroke survivors to regain back their motor skills. Okay, so if this 6 months, right, if you do not do anything, you are stuck with that level of mobility after the 6 months, because the plasticity of your brain would have already frozen after 6 months. So we need to try to maximize the amount of exercise and stretching and flexibility gain for the first 6 months post-stroke, in order for the survivor to regain back as much of their motor skills as possible. Okay. However, in Singapore, okay, due to the shortage of healthcare workers and rehab therapists, okay, most patients cannot afford the time and money, and also the queue at the rehab center is very long. So they're not getting the kind of rehab that they should get. Okay, and lastly, the recovery of the fine motor skills of the patients, right, cannot be tracked and quantified in most of the rehab centers lah. So what this means is that, okay, I can't tell you, say, okay, first session, okay, your left hand, your PIP joint and DIP joint, you can move 5 degree, for example, and then by third session, you can move 10 degree, and so on. So you can't track quantitatively the recovery process, right, of all these joints and fine digits. Yeah. Okay, so this is where we come in and work with our partner Stroke Support Station to develop this AI and hand rehab system for stroke patient recovery. So we integrate infrared-based camera tracking, games, AI, and also virtual instructor-led training. Okay, so and this system is able to capture every finger joint of the hand and the upper body, okay, as data point to quantify your recovery process. Okay, so yeah, it is fun and easy to use, and it's fully autonomous. That means, like, the therapists do not need to come in at all to do anything. They just need to observe for safety. Okay, and the system is smart enough to also detect the level of mobility that you are at. So if let's say you are unable to move that much, okay, it can lower the difficulty level and tailor the exercises accordingly. If you are someone who has, recovered maybe substantially. It can increase the difficulty and make the exercise more challenging and suited for your level of mobility lah. Okay, so how this changes the care paradigm is that, okay, for traditional therapy is one therapist to one patient or one survivor. Okay, now we can have one therapist overseeing a class of maybe 30 to 40 stroke survivors concurrently lah. So this is actually a force multiplier on the end of the therapist to be able to get them to focus more on curating and managing the patient instead of doing the mundane exercise part lah. Yeah. So the system was unveiled during the opening of stroke support station at Jurong Point in May 2019 by our minister Desmond Lee. Yeah. Okay, so if you're interested, you can see the video on Channel News Asia. Okay, the link is there. So I won't show you here. Okay, watch it at home. Yeah. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so we basically just base it off a very typical kind of hardware and camera system. Okay, so what we have done is we have built the firmware and for the camera system and designed the AI and also the training program that is to be used. So as you can see here, okay, the system actually detects and prompts you to use the correct hand if you're using the wrong hand or doing the wrong kind of exercise. And it also counts on exercise and it also checks that you're not compensating. So some people, right, when you do the exercise, right, for example, lift your left hand, but because they have more strength to lift the left hand, okay, they use their shoulder to compensate and lift the hand. So this is wrong, right? So the system is able to detect compensation or wrong kind of movements and then to instruct the person to actually do the correct way of exercises. Okay, so it's portable. They can do it at home also if they want to, right? So there's various games that we design: the fish game, bird game, monkey game. Okay, all this helps to engage the stroke survivors to make it more engaging and entertaining while they do the exercises. And we have found that actually the games are really a source of motivation and engagement. It helps to spur them on to do more than what they are required to do. Yeah. Okay, and the important part is that after each session, okay, we can actually then summarize how the person have done, okay, and at the various digits that has been tracked. Okay, so your DIPs, PIP and MCP points for both hands and even the shoulders as well, right? Okay, and whether you have improved or deproved from the previous session. Okay, and then the various exercises, whether you have done better or worse as well. So the gist of the story is that, okay, AI and automation can reduce the burden of our therapists. Okay, it's not to replace jobs because honestly speaking, right, there's really not enough healthcare workers, so there's nothing much to replace also, right? We're trying to get people in. So we feel that technology can help to be a force multiplier for our shortage of staff. Okay. Okay, so I'll move on to the next portion. Okay, on this intelligent gait assistive device for elderly with walking dysfunctionalities. Okay, so backstory. Okay, so this grant was awarded by MOH. Okay, $500,000 or so. Okay, and it allows us to work with our service provider, Alliance Defender, to address the issue of falls and walking dysfunctionalities in the elderly population in Singapore. Okay, so what happens is that, okay, as you grow older, right? Okay, I'm sure most of you maybe you have experienced it. Okay, as you grow older, your psychomotor skills take a decline, right? Because of the maybe your brain, eye, and leg coordination go haywire or deteriorate after as you age. So this actually is a huge concern as it actually contributes to the risk of falls, especially when walking up and down the staircase because of the coordination issue. Okay, so for elderly, once they fall down, right, okay, usually it's quite detrimental to their health because it results in a fracture and then it also causes emotional and mental scarring and fear lah. So after they fall, they tend to just stay at home and they don't want to go out anymore. And this also will impact their social life, okay, and so on, right? So in order to improve the quality of life of elderly and to get them to improve their mobility and their ability to walk, okay, more and more confidently outside, okay, we have designed this intelligent gait assistive device for them to wear on their ankles to help to compensate and improve their coordination when walking. Okay, so how this, okay, I know it looks like those homebound prison kind of tracking system that people who are home arrest, they wear this anklet, right, to get so that the police know that they don't leave the house. But actually, it is more than that, right? So in this case, it's more to help the elderly, right? Although it looks the same like those home prison kind of technology. Okay, so you can see this digital smart anklet, right, as like as a heart pacer, right? So for heart pacer, right, okay, it helps to pace the heart. For this case, it helps to pace the legs by actually detecting the gait cycle of the elderly. Okay, so and prompting it with electrical stimulation. Okay, to get them to feel that, okay, I have to move, swing my left leg, my right leg, my left leg, my right leg. Okay, so it becomes a bit more the tactile stimulation become a bit more natural to the person walking instead of using an auditory or visual kind of cues. We use tactile cues to stimulate the person to coordinate their brain and leg coordination of walking. Okay, so we actually run a clinical trial of 50 elderly, and we have shown that the use of such gait assistive device has actually improved in their walking speed, coordination, and so on. Okay, so this actually helps to empower the elderly to walk more. Okay, builds their confidence and mobility, and is more effective than current methods of verbal and visual kind of cues that people have taught in the hospitals now. Yeah. Okay. So there's actually also a Channel News Asia documentary. Okay. Yeah, which you can see in your own free time as well, lah. All right. Okay. Next, I would like to share of this mind tapping interface for LIS patient. So LIS is a lock-in syndrome. I'm not sure if any of you here have heard of the term lock-in syndrome before. So basically is when one day you wake up, you find that you are fully paralyzed, okay, head to toe. Okay, you can move your eyes, you can breathe, but you can't speak. Okay, you cannot move your body. So you're like a prisoner of your own body, lah. And this lock-in syndrome patients, they stay in the state for maybe about 20, 30 years even sometimes. Okay. So you can imagine the kind of agony and frustration these patients face because they cannot communicate. Okay, they are just stuck in their forever in a state of stasis, right? So what we have done is that we have developed this 3D printed EEG headset, okay, with a digital keyboard, right, that allows the patients to use their mind to type out on screen, okay, what they want to communicate to their caregiver. Okay, so previously they cannot communicate, right? The caregiver have to fully feed them, change them, and so on. They can't communicate. Now they can communicate their thoughts. Say, oh, maybe I want to go to the beach today, or I want to see my grandson today, or I want to, I miss so and so. So they can use their mind, like their thoughts, to communicate on screen. So this is based on the EEG technology that we have inbuilt in. So EEG is basically I can't pronounce the full name of it. Okay, but basically when you actually think a thought, okay, in your head, okay, your brain is firing electrical kind of signals, and then we have electrodes placed on the head, as you can see here, that captures the pattern of the electrical signal and then map it to certain alphabet on screen. Okay, so before each patient uses, right, okay, we will have to calibrate according to the specific electrical pattern of the patient, right, that to be used. Yeah, so when we share about this technology to the lock-in syndrome patients, okay, you can actually see the tears running down their cheek because finally they have a way to communicate and express their innermost thoughts to their care provider, lah. It's a very big thing to them. Yeah. Okay, so I won't show you the video, but this is one of my master students who built the device, and he's demonstrating the usage of the device, lah. So he's typing the word NUS on screen using just purely the his brain power. Okay, so no keyboard, no mouth, no nothing, just use the thoughts. Yeah. Okay. Next one, let's share this large-scale hospital vital monitoring system. Okay, so the problem statement is that nurses have to wake up patients every 2 to 4 hours to collect their vital signs in the hospital setting. So I think for you, those of you here who work in the healthcare setting, you know that this is a super manpower intensive and redundant task okay, to go around every 2 to 4 hours to go and collect the patient's heart rate temperature and whatever kind of vital signs to lock in into the system. Okay, so this also causes inaccuracies of entering of data and causes disturbance to the patients. Sometimes the patients, when they walk around the different parts of the hospital, okay, they will, sometimes they wander down to the kopitiam, or they go to another ward, or they go to the common toilet, and then they fall down there in the toilet, and no one knows, okay, and then by the time they are discovered, it's too late already, or that kind of stuff. So we try to see how can we deploy a large-scale hospital vital monitoring system. Okay, so we have actually developed this smart disposable wrist tag. Okay, so when they are admitted into hospital, they are tagged with this smart wrist tag. Okay, that can monitor their vitals, heart rate, SpO2, skin temperature, etc., location, and their falls through an accelerator on the tag. Okay, the readings are updated every 10 minutes or when a certain threshold is being met in the case of an emergency, right? So it will push. So for example, if the patient goes to the toilet and then falls down there, okay, a fall will be detected, and then the nurse station will flag out a fall in the toilet, and then there'll be an alarm for the nurse to go and attend to the fall. Or okay, as you see in the recent news a few years ago, a patient who died on the hospital bed because they choked on a fishball and no one know that the person was choking on the fishball. So if let's say the person was to wear this, right, and choke on the fishball, there'll be a drop in the SpO2, okay, and then the heart rate, and then this will also send a signal to the nurse station to come and quickly come to the bed to help to alleviate and to address the issue. Okay. So the benefit is that okay, we can do from this side, we can have manpower savings. Okay, the nurses can then focus on more value-adding tasks. Okay, better quality of hospital stay, and then faster responses to such emergency incidences in the hospital. Okay, so a quick question to you guys. Okay, why not use maybe the Apple Watch and then log it, tag it to the system and so on. Why do we need to develop this smart disposable patient risk tag and for this particular use case? Why don't we just buy many Apple Watches and then just distribute out and tag each patient? Yeah. So maybe you all to share why do we have to develop this bespoke risk tag instead? Anyone?
Because Apple Watch is it Apple Watch
sorry?
is more can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Prof. Matthew, is it because of the Apple Watch is more expensive because each piece is too expensive for one patient, but this one probably more cost effective?
Yeah, you're correct, Ajahn. Yeah, so I think cost is one factor. So let's say if I want to throw away, right, the tag, I can throw away the tag. Yeah, but watch, I can't throw away the watch. Yeah. You want to make a guess how much each tag costs?
How much? Can't guess.
Anyone want to take
Okay, let's hear from the audience. Let's hear from participants. Anyone like to guess? Yep. Timothy said, is it $5?
$5.
$5?
Not exactly. More than $5, but close. Yeah. We are like playing the price is right. Yeah.
Anyone like to guess? Oh, 10 USD from Olivia.
Olivia says 10 USD. Okay, the number is correct, but the currency is wrong. Yeah, so it's about 10 Sing around there. Okay. So you can imagine that it's quite affordable. It's easily chargeable to the patient's hospital stay, right? And then yeah, you can basically when you discharge, you can just tear and throw it away, right? Without incurring too much costs as it compared to Apple Watch. Yeah, so back to the initial question. Yeah, so why not Apple Watch? And then why do we have to develop a bespoke wrist tag? Yeah. So cost was one portion. So any other thing, any other important aspects that we have considered?
Accuracy from Timothy. Accuracy.
Accuracy, yeah, okay. I mean, yes, but not the most important. Yeah.
Does Apple Watch can measure temperature? Okay.
Skin temperature can, yeah.
Can, right? Oh, okay.
Information, okay. I think functionality wise, they are largely the same, right? Because Apple Watch can also do heart rate, ECG, SpO2, skin temperature, and the accelerometer can also detect falls or any kind of motion as well. So functionality wise, I would say they are almost the same. Yeah. Okay lah. So the answer is actually more of the 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 node of pairing lah, number of concurrent pairing. So for Apple Watch, usually the pairing is 1-to-1, right? So one device to one watch or etc. Okay. So for this case, right, because it's enterprise grade and large scale, okay, we are looking at one node concurrently connected to maybe theoretically 33,000 of these restacks concurrently ingesting at the same time and pushing out any kind of notification and so on. Right. So yeah, so the ratio of pairing is different. Okay, in this case, okay, because it's enterprise level lah. So not much bigger than your consumer grade Apple Watch. Yeah. Okay, I'll move on. Okay, so next is the VR XR training for assembly of devices. Okay, so as you can see in today's market, the rate of turnover is very high, lah. Right? Okay, people when they join a company, they leave after like 6 months to a year and so on, and then it's quite costly to train skilled workers constantly, lah. Wherever they leave, you incur huge amount of costs. So we have actually developed VR XR training for assembly of hybrid medical devices, okay, as you can see here, okay, that uses AI, VR, and game concepts to train the new workers on how to do certain kind of assembly or fabrication and so on. Okay, so this leads potentially to cost saving and manpower savings for companies, especially when they need to constantly have to train new workers. Yeah, so you can see here lah, is the XR and VR kind of training that we have developed. Yeah. Okay. I will move on. Okay. And for my outside, okay, we have also worked with physiology department, okay, to develop and test out this NUS next gen AI learning and exam platform. Okay, so what is the problem statement? Okay, so in NUS for us, okay, there's a huge teaching workload lah. All right, so approximately 160 hours per semester per staff on setting and marking exam questions. Okay, so this is typically quite non-value adding for staff. Okay, we want to spend our time more meaningfully lah, rather than on exam marking and setting. Okay, so we also feel that there's a lack of objective feedback to students, okay, after their tests and exams. So they do not know where they went wrong, how they can better improve on their assignment and so on. Right. So this is where we actually have developed and trial this Learnif AI solution, okay, which is a customized rack-based AI bot. Okay, rack stands for retrieval augmented generation bot. Okay, that can allow the staff to set and refine exam questions based on the BOK, book of knowledge, or corpus of knowledge that they are teaching for their module. Okay, mark the scripts based on the rubrics that the staff have set, and also to provide student-specific feedback lah. Okay, so this is the proposed architecture that we have developed. Okay, so basically what the staff do is from the lecture notes or their textbook that they have, right? Okay, they can upload, right? Okay, and then into a vector database encoder model. Okay, and then of course the from there the staff can set their exam question based on the book of knowledge and also upload their exam marking rubric. Okay, level 1, how many marks? What is the rubric that is required, etc. etc. Okay, and then all this will be utilized for the exam. Okay, so this is how the UX journey looks like. Okay, so they type in, okay, drop in their materials, okay, and then they can query to generate the questions for the exam, okay, and then from there, whenever students have submitted their paper, right, they can get the AI will help to mark and then give the marks based on the various rubrics of understanding, analysis, and so on, and the feedback of where they lost marks, where they gain marks, etc. Okay, so we conducted an experiment using our actual modules lah, right? So one of the modules that we actually tried in was the HSI 2002 module, which is a physiology module lah. Okay, so we actually compare various underlying LLMs for the system and to see what's the performance matrix like. Okay, so we use 3.540 and Gemini. Okay, the exam materials are uploaded, grading rubrics uploaded, exam questions also uploaded, and then we use 20 scripts as testing data. Okay, because it's a small sample of the cohort. So we have actually two main variation of testing. One is with training and one without training. So what is mean by training and without training? With training means that we have sample questions that were already marked by examiners with and annotated where they lost mark and gain mark according to the rubric. Without training is just based purely off the rubrics that was uploaded lah. Okay, and then the results were compared with two human expert graders as a ground truth. Okay, so without training, okay, so like I said, okay, without training means without any kind of references of the based on human breeders previously. Okay. So you can see that, okay, without training, this is the results, okay, of the various the models. Okay. You can see that the error score for the 3.5 was much lower without training. Surprisingly, yeah. Okay. So however, 4.0 has a higher standard deviation. Okay. So what it means is that, okay, higher standard deviation will result in a better differentiation in the student capability, okay, in terms of their answering, how they answer the questions. Yeah. Okay. Then with training, okay, same thing. We provided the so-called answer script lah, together with the one that was marked by the expert human grader to train the LLM before we actually use it to evaluate the data. Okay, so with training, you can see it looks the other way around. Okay, the Gemini seems to perform better. Okay, in terms of error rate, the lowest, and also the highest standard deviation compared to the rest. Okay, so yeah, so in a nutshell, we felt that Gemini was the best performer. Of course, there are other models out there that we never had a chance to try. Okay, maybe Claude 2.0, 3.5, or whatever, it work better. I'm not sure, but this is just based on these three model lah. Yeah. Okay. Then we also did further tests. Okay, so we used 4.0 with training to grade three undesirable responses. So the first one was based on completely irrelevant answers. Second one was based on zero attempt to complete the tutorial. And the third one was based on minimal efforts. Okay. So we use this to use AI to generate some rubbish response lah. Okay. So for completely irrelevant answer, okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, when the script, okay, this is the feedback and the scoring that came out using the 4.0. Okay, you can see that, okay, the AI is able to understand and see that, okay, this student is completely does not understand, is not making any attempt to analyze or evaluate or inquire. So he scores 0 on all the aspects of the rubric. Yeah. Okay. So the AI grader understands that the student has inputted irrelevant answers. Okay. And then for this one, for zero attempt, same thing. Okay, all 0 as well. So the AI grader is also able to differentiate and see that, okay, the student has made 0 effort to complete the tutorial and hence awarded 0. And then the third one, okay, minimal effort. Okay, so this is the sample script lah, right? So you can see that, okay, the AI grader also understands that the student has made minimal effort. And then you can see from the feedback that was generated, okay, that the AI is able to reflect this minimal effort in the student specific report that was generated from it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so these are some of the sample feedback. So you can see that as a student, right, if I were to get this kind of feedback after I do my test or exam, right, this is like, super useful for me. At least I know where I went wrong, where I lost marks, or where I screw up, right? So it's very important to have feedback. A lot of time for a university exam, right, you only give the final grade. The student doesn't not know like where he or she went wrong. Yeah. Okay. So this is the impact that we have gotten. So we have so assuming that we have 50% reduction in time, okay, needed for exam marking, we are looking at saving about 160,000 man hours for every 1,000 educators in NUS. Okay, and then of course also the benefit of a personalized learning companion for students. Okay, so yeah, I've come to the end of my short talk. Okay, yeah, so I invite if you are interested to reach out to me for collaboration and partnerships. Okay, feel free to email me, or this QR code is my LinkedIn profile. If you want to reach out and touch base with me, yeah, feel free to add me on LinkedIn and we can have a chat and so on lah. Right? So yeah, I'm quite open. Yeah. So with that thank you for the talk. Yeah, now I'll open the floor for question and answer. Yeah, Achan.
Okay. Thank you from Prof. Matthew for excellent presentation. It's like eye-opening experience for all the projects. Yeah. So let me look at the comment or question from the participant. So let me see the chat. Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, if
No
you all want
question. Yep.
to unmute yourself and ask even better. Yeah.
Mm. All right. Do you have any question? I see the hand. Is it see the hand over there? Not yet. Okay, that's one question in the chat. So,
Okay, so for Rochen, right?
okay. Prof. Matthew, can you read that, or you like me to read
Oh,
for you?
okay. Yeah, I'll read. Yeah. So, thanks, Rochen, for the question. So the question is exciting to see the rapid implementation of digital innovation in the Tan Tock Seng Hospital Smart Ward. How do you effectively assess the performance to ensure they are safe and ready for wider adoption? Will these innovation be monitored and evaluated over the long term? And would you expect more rigorous research like larger controlled trials to be conducted, and will patient reported outcomes measured in these projects? Okay, so quite a number of sub question in your questions. Oh yeah, so let me attempt to answer one by one. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the first part will be how do I effectively assess the performance and ensure they are ready for safe and ready for wider adoption. So for us, for this is quite straightforward. Any trial, any new technology or devices that goes on hospital ground for trial, okay, usually they have to clear ethics board, right? So DSRB and or IRB and so on. So that's really a huge filter to look at to assess the safe and suitability of the devices or the solution already, right? So that's the first part already. So the of course for us for ourselves as a digital innovation office, we're looking more of the impact. Whereas for ethics, they look at safety and so on. Okay, for impact wise, we measure according to of course the cost saving, man hour saving, etc. Right? So that's our more of what we are interested to measure lah. Yeah. So once we are satisfied and then we look at okay, it's potentially scalable, maybe because it's cost effective and so on, then we will look at how we can start deploying the more wards. Okay, and yes, to your second sub question, these innovations are monitored, okay, and evaluated. So we are looking at an initial period of at least 2 years, okay, to as part of the funding criteria lah. So when we fund the project, okay, we look at 2 years of monitoring, in the smart ward or in some controlled wards, yeah, before we let go a little bit more. Okay, will you expect more rigorous research? Yeah, I think this naturally comes in whenever we look at scaling up these technologies in more wards and to more patients. Yeah. And were patient-reported outcomes measured in these projects? Yes. All these will be okay, depending also on the nature of the projects. Some projects are the actual beneficiaries are not the patients but actually the healthcare workers. So the healthcare worker would then report their outcomes lah, instead of the patients. Yeah.
All right. So, Prof. Matthew, there's another question from participants. So asking about the Learn IF AI. So two of them asked the same question. Are they available available already, or is it for only NUS use?
Yeah, so thanks for the question. For this one, it's not available to all of NUS. We are still working with IT department, because if you say we want to make it available to all NUS, then we need to uh whitelist it and to all the corporate laptops and so on and to also our learning platform Canva. So we're still in the midst of discussion with NUS IT. So it's currently just we only use it for one module for the moment. Yeah.
It's very interesting. I also really interested in that one. So hopefully it will be open for, widely use among NUS would be wonderful.
Oh, thank
So
you, thank you.
let's see, are there any questions? So while waiting for more questions, I actually have one question for you. For the project on the tag, the wrist tag to measure the skin temperatures, that the one that you mentioned, is it available for market use, or is only your project would be
Currently is not available at in the market, but it is being adopted in some of the wards. So for example, for Kutepot Ambulance Health, for their ward of the future, is being so-called adopted and taught there lah. Yeah, so it's not open up. And surprisingly, the main users or the main interest parties for this technology, right, actually are not in healthcare but in another industry that looks at monitoring of people within confined spaces. Yeah, which I shan't share in detail due to security reasons, but yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of researcher including me, might be interested in that device also. So so looking for hopefully there will be we can use for the project soon. Let's see, are there any, okay, let's see, are there any question? So again, while waiting for the question to come, I also have question regarding the lip syndrome. Is it the person lock syndrome? Is it
Oh yes, yeah.
did I pronounce the
Yes,
correctly?
correct. LIS
Yeah,
login.
right. The locking syndrome, right? So is it okay to share the video? You have to be. I really,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's
Let me
amazed to me. Yeah, how this device, work in order to read the person mind, and how can it translate into the communication patterns or words. Yeah, that sounds really fantastic, and it could be applicable to other people with communication problem as well. So let's take a look.
yeah, so you try to type the word NUS. Yeah. Yeah, so it's quite slow because of the thing. So you can see the word N later you'll type on the screen and
So the person just think about, so let's see the letter on the screen, and they think about the letter, is it? So that's how it's
yes,
communicated. Oh.
correct. Yes. Just think of the letter, yeah.
Oh. And then after they choose the letter, then the letter would combine to form a words to communicate. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. So
fantastic.
yeah, anyways. Yeah. So if you ask me, yeah, is to type one alphabet also requires a lot of brain energy to focus on the alphabet
Yeah.
and so on. Yeah.
I wonder if it would work for, children with autistic or communication difficulty. I'm not sure it will work with those. Will be interesting.
Yeah, so
That, yeah.
what I understand is that for some therapies, they actually use this to help to get the children to focus, especially those with who are like autistic or ADHD, like, to focus on like certain objects on screen to so that it trains their mind to be focused. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that's comment from Timothy. We could use it to identify sleeping student during the lecture and deliver a shock.
Yeah,
A shock.
it's possible lah. So the device now is it's a sensor that receive electrical signal, but I guess you can always reverse the direction and send electrical signal into the head. Yeah.
So it's kind of enhance the focus to the lecture. Yeah. So yeah, any comments on on that problem too?
Yeah. So yes, I agree. We can use it to shock some student up. Yeah. Especially those who are sleeping. Yeah.
Okay.
And interesting part is that some research they also use it to identify whether the person has truly mastered a certain topic when learning. Yeah. So when it's interesting that your brain pattern actually is a sort of certain pattern whenever you are confident of a topic that you have actually learned compared to someone who is not so confident and then it's a very different pattern. So you can potentially use this to actually differentiate students who are confident and know the topic well and those who do not know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
Can I, Matthew? Can I ask you to expand on that slightly? I mean, how's it doing that?
yes. Hi. Yes,
differentiating those students who know the topics better than others. Is it just by asking questions? I mean,
thanks, Tim. Yeah. So from what I recall, right, when you have mastery over certain topics or questions, right, the way when you answer or address the questions, right, is very different from someone who is like, for example, just learned about a topic yesterday and is unsure. So the brain pattern for someone who has mastered the topic and the brain pattern for someone who hasn't mastered the topic would be different. And this device can be used as a differentiating factor to inform the lecturer whether this person is truly confident and knows the topic well. I mean, above and beyond whatever he respond on the paper, but also like what his brain shows when he actually thinks about the questions. Yeah. That's what I recall. Yeah.
So seem like, yeah. Are there any more questions from the participants? I also keep checking the. Right. So let's see if there was some set of questions that sent earlier by the participant. So let's see if it. I mean, I can see that all the questions been covered by your talk already, but I think there's some some few questions. So let me just check. Okay, I think there's one question. All right. So this question about training the new staff. Okay. So for example, the new staff walk in, like either nurse or doctor went into the clinical setting. Are there any training plan for, from the hospital to train them to know about the, AI culture or technology culture?
Thanks. Yeah. So okay. So for me, I wear both NUS hat and NAG hat. So for NUS hat, I can say that for digital and AI innovation and technology, we currently have a specially curated program for digital literacy that is being trained to all year one and year two medical students, whether you are nursing or medicine or pharmacy or whatever subspecialty. Yeah, so this is to equip them with the baseline technical knowledge lah, right? So and it's not just a simple webinar, but it's actually a full 14 weeks digital literacy foundation program that goes into even things like your bits and bytes lah, and your how image is represented in terms of the matrix and so on. Yeah, so that is for NUS side that we try to target upstream from the source of where the students graduate from. And then for hospital side, we also have tailored Gen AI programs, low code, no code platforms, and workshops that are being run by our vendor partners like AWS and Microsoft to actually equip our doctors and nurses with the necessary digital innovation skills lah. So how can they, for example, design a particular web app if they do not have coding skills? So they can use a low code, no code platform, for example, AWS Party Rock and so on to design it and yeah. So we do have all these digital training programs, yeah, for hospital as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Prof. So it's something like ongoing. It's not just one shot, right? So it's like during the education years they can train. So there's a few more question here. So one more question here. From Savine. So are there possibility for collaboration with other educational institution for the use of Learn IFAI?
Yeah, sure. I mean, honestly, okay, whatever we have done is not novel, right? The thing is, you can easily replicate it, yeah, and so on. If you make it better in your particular institution, right? So what we have done is just a proof of the concept. But I believe that many of the LLMs and the approach that we use is not say very very novel, and it's quite foundational lah, right? So I think if you get an experienced AI engineer or software engineer, you can easily design and develop a much better kind of software using more state-of-the-art language models and also interfacing lah. Yeah, so definitely happy to collaborate, but I think maybe we can look at how we can better refine it.
Yeah. One more question from Timothy, I think. I think many of us older people are hesitant or scared and would love more hands-on experience with immediate tutor.
Yeah.
With tutor help. Yeah.
Tutor help. Correct. Yeah. So I guess this one can be a learning companion. But I think the key thing will be to integrate this with whatever learning platforms that you are on. It shouldn't be a disparate, separate platform that you need to engage. It should be integrated within the learning platform that you're engaging with, be it some online learning system or your electronic learning interface or whatever stuff. Yeah, so everything should be organic and integrated in it. That is the key consideration that we should aim for lah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, seem like there are no more question from the participant, but there was one last question from the sent earlier by the participant. So that's asking about the two terms. So I think one is the IoT, Internet of Things. They're asking like, what does this mean, and what is different between that one and the AI? Could you maybe enlighten us?
Sorry. Yeah. So I actually changed the title and topic. Yeah, because I realized that actually, no point carving out technologies into AI, IoT, and XR, VR, because I think now in today's age, right, you see a convergence of technology into a singularity. Whenever we look at different or new types of digital solutions that are being rolled out. Yeah, so it cut across multiple technologies. But okay, back to the question from Achan on IoT and AI. So I think IoT stands for Internet of Things. So basically, it is any kind of smart devices that are connected to each other and into the cloud lah. Okay, so basically your smartphone, your smartwatch, your smart ring, your smart glasses, all these are all IoT devices. They are the hub and spokes of your digital ecosystem lah. Yeah. Therefore, AI will be artificial intelligence. So will be basically your encompasses your machine learning and any kind of thing that allows the software or system to act and behave more human-like and perform human-like tasks. Yeah.
I see. So it seems like the IoT is a broader kind of cluster of technology, right? Then which is also probably containing AI. So would AI be a subset of IoT? Is it fair to say so?
AI, AI will be one of the enabling technology. IoT is also one enabling technology. I think they are two different things. Yeah. One is so IoT will be like more hardware, smart hardware. AI will be the brain behind the hardware. Yeah.
Okay, got you. I got you. Yeah. Right. So seem like there's no more question from the participants. So then, yeah, thank you so much from Matthew. That's very excellent presentation. It's a lot of innovation and the idea. So thank you so much for sharing
Thanks,
with us.
Azan, for the invite to speak for your webinar. Yeah.
Right.
Hope
I
you
think
enjoy.
you probably will receive, more connection or more communication from the participant to communicate with you, to work with you. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Excellent. So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you so much. So I think Shawan will show us something here. Let's all right. So just advertise for the next webinar. So in February, we'll have another one. You know that for our community, we'll offer the webinar every month until end of April. So for the next month, February, we'll see another one on the text-based conversational agent or AI chatbot in education by Dr. Chinedu. And okay, you're welcome to join us for the next session. And the email will send circulate to all the participants. Okay, if you're interested too. And then that will be a next slide, please. So here we go. If you like to follow us on the AI community, please use the QR code on the right side. And so that would link you to the website and also Instagram and YouTube that we provide information regarding the NUS AI health community. And also on the left side of your screen, there will be a QR code for the feedback. So could you please take a few minutes to scan QR code and also give us some feedback? How would you like the sessions? Okay, and then we can work on take all the information into consideration for the next webinar. Okay, so please, I just maybe leave it here for a few seconds. So please scan and provide some feedback. That will be greatly appreciated. Okay, thank you so much. So right, so then I think will lead us to the end of the webinar. And thank you again, Prof. Matthew. And thank you, Shawan, for help us organizing this webinar. And I wish to see you in the next webinar in February. Okay, thank you. Here, bye-bye. See you again next month. Here, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay.